Let me guess, you love schedules, but they make you feel like a failure. How do I know that? That's me. I absolutely love schedules and the structure that they give, and how they help you work towards a goal, and you make a schedule and then you don't have to think about it anymore and you just do it and then you achieve your goal. At least that's how it always sounds in my head, and then I go to do it and I make it work for like a day or half a day, and then I can't follow it anymore and I feel like an utter failure. And then I make another schedule and the same thing happens, and another one, and another one, and another one. And I have come to the realization that if I keep doing schedules the way I used to do them, at least, we were going to have to break up, Schedules and I. So, I want to share with you today some tips that have helped me get on a little better footing with scheduling and helps me use it as a tool that helps me get towards my goal instead of something that just makes me feel like a failure all the time. I also want to share with you my ultimate scheduling tool slash hack that might be kind of unconventional. I've never heard of it before or using it this way before, but it has really worked for me, and I don't use it all the time, but when I have a packed day and I need to get a lot into this day, this thing is a game changer. So stick around to the end to hear that. So I think you probably know the drill. You make a schedule, you get it all tweaked and perfect, and you have your goal and you say, this is what I need to do every day. You get the goal done and you make it. At least this is how I would do it. You make it and it looks perfect. Like, this is my perfect day, and I think I could do it. And then you get up and you start the day. And sometimes it's the beginning of the day, sometimes it's more at the end of the day, sometimes it's the next few days. But it just seems like life gets in the way, and either you are an uptight crank who has absolutely zero other relationships, obligations in your life other than the schedule, or you're a normal person and the schedule just doesn't work out. It feels like those are your two options, and I usually pick the normal person one. But it means I end up feeling like a complete failure and that I can't do my goals. There is a happy medium, believe me, I know, because I have found out. Part of it is like a bonus tip. I don't think this is in my tips. Kind of, maybe? I don't know. This is kind of a bonus tip, and that is to realize that part of like a definition of a schedule, I guess, at least in my mind, is that it is not your life. And so it's not going to go according to plan all the time. And that's just part of it. And if you just relax and are okay with that in the beginning, it sets you up for a whole lot more peace and joy in the long run. My first tip, which is something that I really struggled with, is instead of planning out every single minute of your day, plan it out in large chunks. And it feels like if you plan out every single minute, you have like the utmost control and nothing can go wrong and you're just going to have the perfect day. But at least for me, I find that only means a lot of stress when things go wrong and just a lot of like micromanaging myself, and it just doesn't feel restful. It might be like really productive for a short time, but it takes a lot of energy. I'm always checking my schedule and it's just not as fun. It doesn't work for me. So what I've done instead is plan out large chunks of work time, so like deep work sessions, or say I have a work session for my business and then I'll have a writing session and then something else session. And so instead of I have like three or four big sessions in the day, and I just need to make sure to get those in, and I just do those when I can instead of planning like every single minute. Number two is to leave time in between the chunks for breaks or for catching up on the last chunk. So I've done this before where I plan out my schedule and everything's done, but I don't leave any like grace period in between tasks. And it just means that if the slightest thing goes wrong, if I have to work on something just a little bit longer than what I thought, or if somebody wants to talk to me and something takes a little bit longer, my whole schedule is messed up. And that's a horrible thing. It feels like you have to like grip your day because if the slightest thing goes off the schedule, it's messed up, which I don't know about you, but I don't want to live that way. It's totally not required for doing great things and achieving great goals. So leave those chunks in between. maybe like 15 minutes is my, like, 10-15 minutes is my preferred amount of time. And it doesn't have to be long, but just a little bit of time to either rest or finish up a project really quick before moving on to the next thing. I always have a hard time. Number 3 is to be super flexible, which I guess I kind of already touched on this, but a schedule and real life are like complete opposites, because real life is, even though it feels pretty monotonous sometimes, it's different every single day and every single minute is different. But a schedule just assumes that everything, like a machine, is the same way, and so they're going to clash. I think there's this idea in our heads that, like, if we make the perfect schedule, that somehow that won't happen. But at least at this current stage of my understanding, I don't think there is ever a perfect schedule that will never clash with life sometimes. So give yourself a gift and just be really flexible. It's not laziness. Being flexible with your schedule, flexible with your day, with your week, is not laziness. Ask me how I know to say that. You can be flexible and still get stuff done. And it's kind of like the skill that you have to learn, and get a feel for when you're maybe being too flexible or when you need to be more flexible. It's definitely, there's a healthy balance, but just know that you can be flexible, and that if you veer off your schedule, nothing's wrong. Like, there's absolutely nothing wrong. Number 4, I guess, is to plan rest. This comes more naturally to others, to all of us. This comes more naturally to some of us than it does to others. But one thing that I have found that makes scheduling and planning and working really hard on my goals a lot more fun is if I also, as well as planning for work, plan for rest. And it just psychologically, it feels balanced, and it feels like I'm not being overtaxed by myself. And that might sound a little weird, but anyway. So I like to plan for fun, whether it's planning fun things I'll do on my rest day, whenever that is, Sunday, Monday, whenever it works out. Or if I plan like certain fun activities for the evenings of during the week. Planning fun is so much fun. Like, I like to do bullet journaling, and I make out my plan for the week, which I think I want to make a video on that soon. Let me know in the comments if that'd be something you'd be interested in. But I like to have a little section on my planner for fun. And this is so fun. I'll plan like a movie night or a reading session or some fun treat I'm going to have, or some fun video or documentary I'm going to watch, stuff like that. Just something to look forward to. And it makes life feel like not all work. Even if you enjoy your work, sometimes it is hard. And if you know that you've also planned something fun, it just feels more balanced. I think kind of the point of all these is to use your schedule as a tool for you to not only help you get things done, but also feel good and confident about yourself and your life. And that doesn't always mean noticing all the ways that you're failing. It can just mean being a little bit more organized than you would be without a schedule at all. I was going to say one more thing, but I can't remember. Well, I can't remember. So I guess we're moving into my big scheduling hack. I don't know if anyone else does this. I have never heard of it before. But what I do, and I haven't been doing this as much recently, I kind of just do it whenever I feel like I need to. It's completely optional. But what I have been doing is I go into ChatGPT, and if you haven't seen my video about AI and how I kind of like was super scared of it in the beginning, you can watch that. I will link it somewhere in the description, I guess. I write everything out into ChatGPT, everything that I need to do that day. So I'll list all the things. I'll list what is really important, what the really important stuff that needs to get done. I will list out how much time I want to spend on each thing. I will list out my priorities for that day. There might be productivity priorities, there might be emotional priorities, something I really want to focus on mentally. And then I will ask ChatGPT to make me a schedule with those things. and it has really helped me to have more of a balanced view of my day. Now, obviously, ChatGPT at the end of the day is basically a machine. And so I always have to remind myself of that. It comes up with some really cool stuff, but at the end of the day, it's just a robot, it's a machine, it's not a real person. But it simulates kind of having a second perspective on my schedule. So I tend to like really over schedule myself and try to fit so many things in this one day or week. And ChatGPT helps me see what's like a reasonable amount of things to get done. It'll have like little bits of encouragement here and there, mindset perspectives, ways to see my day, what to focus on. And it's just like a little boost. And it has helped me relax more with scheduling and schedule in a way that's going to be nourishing to me and not just trying to get as much done as I possibly can. So if you are to use ChatGPT, if you like ChatGPT, I highly recommend this method. Just kind of like tell it what you want to get done, tell it how long you want to spend on each thing roughly, kind of what you want to focus on for that day. If you want reminders to drink water or reminders to focus on joy or gratitude, whatever like that, you just put it all in there and it creates you a schedule. And it is so cool. It makes the day feel a little bit more like fun and supported in a way. I hope that makes sense. Just try it. It's really fun, and it's like it has revolutionized my scheduling. Like I said, I don't use it all the time, but when I feel like I need a little help, that's what I do, and boy, is it cool. So all of that to say, if you are a person who struggles with schedules and you want to make it work, but it just never feels like it can work, or maybe you don't like schedules, but you kind of have to make it work because of your life circumstances or you have a lot going on, I hope this video was a reminder to you that it can be fun and not stressful at all. If your schedule is making you feel more stressed than you already are, there's a problem, and it totally does not have to be that way. So I hope this video gave you some ideas and some encouragement, and you're not the only one. You will find the balance and your rhythm. And if you have any scheduling tips that you've learned, please put them in the comments below for all of us. We need your help. So I will see you on the next video. I love you so much. Remember, do not grind. God's got you. He doesn't need you to burn yourself into the ground and overextend yourself to create the life that He has for you. So until then, happy scheduling, and I will see you.